So let's welcome you to our first episode or our first podcast. So it's a special day today. This is Local Louisville Fighting. And before we get into our show or we get into our first podcast, there's just a few things that I'd like to go over that transpired. First thing is Juneteenth. We want to give a shout out to Juneteenth and that holiday. We're glad that we have that. We also like to say Happy Father's Day. To all you fathers out there, Happy Father's Day. Keep up the good work. And one more thing. Through God, all things are possible because we wouldn't be here. So we about to get it popping and we about to get it rocking. Local Louisville Fighting. Let's go. So number one, let me tell you who I am. I am MC CDub. I am the ring announcer for Future Promotions and the boxing gigs that they put on. You can see me right here. You know, I try to have a little fun, you know. So if you come, we're going to try and make sure that we keep you hyped. You just come to the fight, and I'm going to keep you hyped. So I'm not by myself, so don't think that I'm not going to get to this man that's beside me. So we're going to get to that in due time. But first, let me tell you something about me and how I got here and how my story started. So first, Derico Murray. This is my man beside me.
How y'all doing?
Derico, what is your position in Future Promotions?
Well, I'm the boxing promoter of Future Promotions. We've started back in February 2011. That was that's when we became official. Mm-hmm. We actually didn't do our first show until July the 29th. That's why we came up with the show 10 Summers. You know, to celebrate 10 years of business.
Hey, I thought that was awesome, too. And it was funny. The first show that I did for you was 10 Summers. So I just kind of thought it was fitting. And I was like, 10 Summers, most people say 10 years. DM was like 10 Summers. And that's like the perfect twist on it. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And how I came about working with this guy, Derico. He gonna kill me if I don't say it right. It's Derico. So I just call him DM because I can't get the Rico or the Rocco together. I just can't do it. So DM, Derico Murray. How I became messing with this guy is it's kind of interesting, the story. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of came out of nowhere. But I'll tell it from my side. My side is, so I'm going to the fights. Like, this guy's been in for like 10 summers. He's been in for 10 summers. I've been to 2 fights, so I'm just now finding out about it because there is a local boxing community here that we don't know much about, and we about to change all that. So I go to his second fight, and I just saw a lane for me to get back into doing things that I like to do, and that's standing in front, keeping you hyped. So I kind of have that ability. I kind of have that energy. I try to suppress it for a while. Sometimes it just don't work. So I found a lane, or I found something where I could actually try it. So I hit the man up out of nowhere. I'm going to tell you, listen to this. Listen to this. All right. I can't wait. Tell him. I can't wait. Because I can't wait to hear his reaction because he's saying it on air for all of you all too. So I tell him, I hit him up and I'm like, hey, I think I can do that. And he's like, well, do you got some footage? And I'm like, I used to do it way back in the day. So I did it way back in the day. So all my footage is on camcorder. So now I'm running around the house trying to think, how can I get this footage off this camcorder, get it sent to him, download it to my computer, bring it through. And I was like, you know what? Bump it. I just sent him audition tape. I sent him audition tape. I sent him your professional, what's the guy's name? The guy's name does the boxing all the time.
Buffer.
Buffer. So I sent him a Buffer video. Coming to the ring now. Yeah, I sent him a Buffer video. I sent him 2. I sent him 1 Buffer, and then I just sent him, like, hey, this is how we do. Come on down. You coming to the ring? Come down here and get your head busted.
Yeah.
So I sent him 2. Right. I sent him 2, and out of that, what did you think of those? You know, when I sent him, how did you hear him? Did anybody else in your family hear him?
My daughter was listening to it. She liked it. She was like, ooh, I like him. Like, yeah, he's cool. I like that, you know. And then I was like, what I'm looking for, I think I might have said that before you sent the video.
Uh-huh.
I was like, well, dang, what I'm looking for is someone who's professional but charismatic, you know, someone. Right. I mean, I remember being a little kid and going to the little softball games. I grew up in the Newburgh area.
Right.
And it was a guy named George Unseld.
Oh, the Unsales.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hold on. Unsale, basketball playing Unsale?
Wes Unseld, the brother of Wes Unseld.
Okay,
Great
right.
Wes Unseld.
Right.
And he used to do these softball games, and you can just hear his voice all through Newburgh, and he just had that charisma about him that caught my attention.
Right.
And when I think of a ring announcer, I think of him. That's what I want out of a ring announcer. You
Right.
know, I mean, of course, do your thing, but I always think of being charismatic, talking about go to the concession stand and giving shout outs to everyone, and adding a little more excitement to the actual event.
Right. So that's cool. That's cool. So I'm glad I kind of passed the test, man. So, and then the first night was kind of like my audition, and we just had a great night. That was his 10 Summers night. So that was a great night. So that is how I got started. And while I'm at it, let me give a shout out to the local boxing community. Thank you for letting me in. Salud. We about to raise the roof in this joint. That's what we about to do up in here. So that's me, MC CDub, Facebook page, MC CDub, Gmail. I do bar mitzvahs. I do basketball games. I do pageants. Holla at your boy.
Right.
So now, that being said, now let's get into the man of the future, or the man of future promotions. That is Dorico DM Murray. I call him DM. Hey, y'all stay out his DMs. Don't have his wife hollering at me. So I just call him DM. So that being said, let me ask you first question on how everything got started. So what made you, or how do you, that's the best way to say it. I'm trying to think. How did you get into the let's start with how did you get into the business? Let's start with that one.
Okay.
Hold on first. Do you box?
I was a pro boxer. I had a short career. The name came about because one of my friends I went to college with, he's also a judge, Carlo Kellum. He does judging. He gave me the ring name, The Future. He gave me that name. It was on actually like a podcast.
Okay.
And he gave me a nickname. He came up with a nickname for my brother also. He said, "You're the future." I'm like, the Future kind of.
Yeah, it got a nice ring to it.
It's got a little ring.
Yeah, it got a nice ring to it. And everybody like to be called Future.
Yeah, and once the when the boxing came to a halt, I'm like, well, I want to figure out something else I could do with boxing, because I couldn't continue in boxing because of medical issues. So I got into promoting. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna promote. I'm gonna become a promoter, and I'm like, well, what can we call it? And one of my business partners was like, well, why don't you just call it Future Promotions? Like your ring name. I'm like, okay. Well,
that ain't a bad idea.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Like that. Future Promotions, like basically just fighters.
Right.
And I figured, hey, the future of boxing. These up and coming fighters are perhaps the future of boxing. We've had guys come on our show and move on to sometimes other ventures. We had what's his name, Jermaine Franklin. He fought on our show, and he wound up being the main event on Showbox. So that's a little step up. We've had let me see who we have. A couple other fighters that went on the bigger shows.
Right.
Not saying that what we do is not worthy, but so you got to start somewhere.
Yes, you do. You got to start somewhere, and that's why we starting here at Local Louisville Box. I'm telling you, we about to blow the roof off this joint. So another thing is, so what possessed you, DM, to start boxing? Like, what possessed you to start boxing? Like, tell me the story about why you started boxing. How did that happen for you? Did you fall off a bridge and be like, I want to start boxing?
It's funny, being from Louisville, everyone always talks about Muhammad Ali. I want to box. I want to be like Muhammad Ali.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. And yes, that's a good choice. But realistically, what made me get into boxing, I remember watching a Rocky movie.
Hey.
Watching a Rocky movie.
I was brought up on them Rocky movies.
Yeah, I was watching it with the family, and after the Rocky movie went off, how kids are, they let their imagination go wild, and I wanted to box. I'm like, Daddy, can you box with me? So he gets on his knees in the hallway, and we were just boxing and
throw a couple jabs at him. You knock his teeth out.
Yeah. So somehow I knocked the big guy down. In my mind, I beat the big guy.
Right. And then it just took off from there.
Yeah, I've always liked boxing.
Well, that's interesting. That's pretty cool. Like it was boxing for you. Me, I went to the Karate Kid and I broke my ankle jumping off the couch. So, right, but it was boxing for you. So that's a good thing, and that's a good way to start. So, let's see here. Is there? You said you work with Jermaine. Are there any other people that have come through here that have made it through, or other than Jermaine that might have made it to the top tier or to another? Is there anyone else besides Jermaine? Just wondering.
Who else did we have? I mean, we've had so many names. We've had a former world champion fight on our show, Yuri Foreman.
Right.
He fought on our show once. Who else? We've had so many. I can't even think.
But that's a good thing.
10 years of doing it.
That's a good thing. And I had no idea you were 10 summers in.
We met a lot of cool people.
Right.
Richard Steele brought some fighters. I guess he's into managing now. He came to one of our shows. I actually got to meet what's his name, Don Elbaum. He actually brought Don King in the box. He brought him into the business. Yeah, he was at one of our shows. He brought some boxers. He got a heavyweight, Joe Cusimano, and he had a cruiserweight. I can't think of the guy's name. African guy. He's out of Maryland.
Okay.
He brought a couple of fights to our show. I mean, I've met so many people. Another guy out of London. He was on what was the name of that show with Floyd Mayweather? Was it Donovan Cameron or Cameron Donovan?
You one of them, right? Somewhere in there. Yeah, don't quote us on that. Don't quote us on that.
He fought on one of our shows. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Hey, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. And not to cut you off, I'm just saying, like, a lot of people don't know that stuff is happening here. Like me, myself, I didn't know. We became Facebook friends, and we were kind of doing the same thing at that time. You know what I'm saying? A family man at the time, and doing these things. And that's what kind of drew me towards you. And then I was like, well, let me go to a boxing match. I was like, I ain't never been to a boxing match. I live in Louisville. How do I not go to a boxing match? Live in Louisville and don't go to Churchill Downs. I mean, come on. That just doesn't happen. You live in Louisville, you go to a boxing match. So
yeah, why not?
You were my first introduction into that, and I was like, oh, man, I had no idea. It was like it's like walking downstairs and opening the door, and then, boom, it hit you. It's like, whoa, oh, we got something here. So we got kids in here that are coming in here fighting and doing our thing, and before we get into going over the 10 summers, last fight we had, because we just had a fight June 12th, just passed.
Right.
That's correct.
10 summers.
Right, 10 summers. So before we get into that, I would like to, talking about you, some of the pictures that you brought. I'd like to go through some of the pictures that you brought. So right here, who we got right here?
Okay, we got I can't remember the guy's name. He's a fighter out of Jamaica.
Oh, the one in the green and yellow.
He fought, green and yellow, I would say.
He not a bobsledder.
Right next to him is my business partner, Joseph Shirley. He does my matchmaking, and he's an awesome matchmaker. I mean, he gets it done. So fight falls off. He's like, oh man, I got it. He got that low. What's the tone low voice? And like, I got that raspy voice.
Right.
Like, next thing you know, bam. I got it matched up, dog. I'm like, oh, okay. He moves quick.
And what was his name again?
Joseph Shirley.
Joseph Shirley. All right.
Yes.
Shout out to Joseph Shirley.
One of the best doing it in this region.
Big ups to Joseph Shirley. That's good. I think we have a few more pictures of you. I think we have one of you in a suit. Let's see here as we come across this. Boom. There we go. Look at DM Fly. Explain that to me.
Well, I'm just kind of feeling myself after a long days, or actually a long process of getting this show together. That was actually at the Penn Dentist. This is a show that they like to do once a year. It's called Friday Night Fights.
It's called Friday Night Fights?
They do it on a Friday.
Right.
That was actually on my birthday, that show.
Okay.
I'm just feeling myself a little bit, after all that hard work.
No, nothing wrong with that. When you put the suit on and got the cuffs on, you know what I'm saying? You got to show out just a little bit. You got to show out just a little bit. So we had that picture, and then we had the picture of the guy that helps out the fight. So, and staying right there, let's get into the boxing matches that we had on June 12th that had just passed. So I think we have a clip right here. Is this a still or is this a video? This is just a still. All right. No, this is a video. Here we go.
Give some honey on the low, man. Give a bowl of honey for the low.
got the nice, see, you got the nice, okay. So that's Timothy Moulton right there. Okay. And he's a heavyweight. All right. See, look, referee, like, break that up. I'm gonna need y'all to get to some action. So Timothy Moulton, that's the next one on the card. I think we have another video as well. So let's see who do we have on this one here. Oh, that's Compton. Hey, boy, Compton. Oh, is that the knockdown?
Okay. That too was a step up fight. That was supposed to be his first big test.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he looked amazing.
Okay, Compton in the building. You know how we do on tests. We kill tests, and so understand. I'm ring announcing this fight too. So those two guys right there, Timothy Moulton and this Compton guy, they have a following that can keep you turned up, straight turned up. They have a good following. Like, it was fun announcing their fights because I'm hollering and everybody in the crowd's hollering. So I'm sure everybody was hyped for that. So that's good. And you got a nice little crowd there. I see you keep a nice little crowd at your fights. Mm-hmm. So that's good. That's good as well. What the next thing I wanted to go into is, here we go. Is that Compton by himself?
Yep. You have a still shot of Fred Compton. As you see the credit on who did the photography, Miss Griffith.
Yep.
Good job. Nice shot.
Shout out Griffith.
Yep. It was an amazing night. 10 summers. I mean, it felt like that weekend just felt like 10 summers all together. I mean, it was hot. We moving around trying to set everything up.
Right.
Yep. The promoter is setting everything up.
You heard the man. He's hands on.
Right. I'm hands on.
Stop playing. He's hands on.
I'm not Don King. I don't have people working for me.
You're not hanging nobody off the balcony?
I'm not doing all that. No one owes me any money.
Right.
So we just make it work.
That's good. I believe we have another picture. Oh, this gentleman right here. I totally forgot about this guy.
Yeah, I can't. He's
Nadim Saloon.
Yeah, Nadim Saloon.
Yes. Lebanon.
Lebanon.
Middle East. So
Middle East fighter.
Yeah, this guy was actually. I think they said that he was the first professional fighter from Lebanon, and to think that he graced Louisville with his boxing. So that was
good.
Yeah, that was a big thing, and he fought pretty well too. And this guy had a following as well. They had flags in the stands at the whole nine. It was, but he was a good boxer though. And watching the mic, he was a good boxer. And is that the knockout shot?
Yep.
Is that the knockout shot?
Tim Moulton.
How they say it? When they say it, mayhem.
Yep,
Hey,
mayhem.
that's what they say when this guy's in the building.
Yes, it was.
And it was a step up for him, right? And this was a step up fight.
It was a step up. Of course, you just gradually keep stepping up. You take your time with your fighters. When you have, it's good to manage your fighters, make sure they have a successful career, and make sure, when they take a tough fight that is worth, is worth their while.
Right.
Because this is a business.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, this is
Without
a business.
Without a doubt. My next question would be, how would you said 10 summers, and that's just amazing that you said 10 summers. So could you give me a comparison between one summer and 10 summers?
Oh.
So you just in your mind, just tell me how that transition has been for you.
Man, that one summer, I can remember that show, man. We had 3 fights. We had about 7 or 8 fights, matched up, and somehow, a lot of these fights I don't even want to get into it.
Right. I'm not gonna tell you that part. You don't need
Tim. I can remember Tim was probably he was probably a teenager.
Right.
Probably a teenager to probably early 20s. He helped set up the ring. It was a guy brought his ring from Owensboro, Kentucky. They set up the ring. We didn't have a ring then, so they came through for us. And
they bring you the ring?
Yep, they brought the ring.
Okay, I was about to say, was you out there slap boxing in the sand? I don't know how we get down. You know how we get down here.
Ring. It was at the Expo 5. It was our first show. July the 29th. I remember that. It was, oh man, it was something else.
That's a beautiful thing.
And here we are 10 years from now. You got Tim as the main event.
Right. It's crazy how things come full circle.
Yeah.
It's crazy how things come full circle. What another question I like to ask is, from one summer to 10 summers, how do you feel? Like after that first summer, was you like, I'm about done with this. I ain't doing this no more. I about had enough.
You know what? You are pretty accurate. I can remember my partner Joe. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, after the show, you got to pay people. This is pro boxing,
right?
There's money involved. Mm-hmm. Oh man, that felt like that line was so long. We was in that back room, like, man, we lost so much money, and people were just walking in. Oh yeah, you owe us this, you owe us this, and that time we got to after the last person, the security guard, poor guy, he walks in. He didn't want nothing but just go over how things was handled.
Right.
He walked in there, and my partner was like, man, you two, hold on. You better not come here talking about what you want. And he was heated. So he walked in, and he's like, oh, no. I'm just letting you know, such and such. I can't remember what he said.
Right.
But it had something to do with his job duty.
Right.
And we was like, all
right, good. Wait, no money? Okay,
yeah,
you're just talking about J.O.B.
No money.
Okay, we got you.
Man.
You're just talking about J.O.B. We got you.
Yeah, it was an experience for us because, no one told us how to do this. We had to learn on the fly, and just years of doing it, we learned a little bit at a time. No one held our hand through this.
Well, see, that's interesting. That's interesting, and some people don't have the ability to be able to do that. So the fact that you would is a very good thing, because some people are just like, if I don't know, I'm not going to do. And then sometimes you just got to have that faith and believe and go forward. And look, we go from one summer to 10 summers. Word. Word, without even knowing. And it's about the same. So, but you also mentioned something else that was interesting to me. Pro fighting. So I'm an impression you do pro and you do amateur as well. Is that correct?
I do amateur. Yes, I have a boxing gym called All or Nothing Boxing Academy.
We gonna get into that. Yeah. You can talk. I want you could touch on that a little bit.
Yeah.
But episode 1 is DM, Dorico, and then episode 2, I'm gonna focus on his gym. Right. I'm gonna focus on his gym, and then I'm gonna have him bring some boxers in that we can talk to you too that come out of his gym. So you can touch on your gym a little bit. Of course, it's all or nothing boxing, right?
Yeah, all or nothing boxing.
All or nothing.
Hopefully they can be the future.
Right. So that's just a prelude to the next show. The next show will be on his gym, All or Nothing Boxing. So shout out to them. And don't forget, this is Local Louisville Fighting. So I'm coming for the rest of you all too. I'm coming for you, TKO. I'm coming for you, 5-Star. I'm going to need you in this chair beside me. Stop playing with me.
Hey, come on.
You know what I'm saying? We about to raise the whole city up when it comes to this local fighting thing that a lot of people don't know about. So with that being said, let's get into. I have a little thing for you. You didn't know this was coming. He doesn't know that this is coming because I like every guest that comes in here and speaks with CDubbMC. I'm gonna throw something at him. May not have anything to do with boxing. We may be in here throwing ping pong balls in the bucket. I don't know, but we gonna come up with something. So what I came up with this time is 520. So yeah, no. No, not 420. 520. So he's got to answer 5 questions in 20 seconds.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and he hasn't been. What do we like to say when you've been prepped? Yeah, he has not been prepped for this. No, he was not.
Uh-oh.
So that being said, I think we can get a 20-second timer on the screen. So I'll work on the 20-second time. Hold on, better yet. We can't. Where my phone at? It'll buzz. So look, he's sweating already.
Oh man, I'm over there thinking. Yep.
Let me see. My stopwatch. Clock. Isn't there supposed to be a clock on your phone somewhere? Clock on everybody's phone. Why can't I find mine? There we go.
20 seconds.
Boom. 20 seconds. So we're going to hit this 20 seconds. So when I start the first question, you have 20 seconds to answer 5 questions.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. All right. DM, my man. Let's go. Question number 1. What makes a good boxer to you?
Makes a good boxer? Consistency.
Name a movie that made you cry.
A movie that made me cry. I would have to say, I don't know.
All right. What's your go-to song for motivation?
Motivation, my go-to song for motivation, Ambition by Jay-Z.
Ooh, love that. Outside of the business, outside of boxing business, what's your favorite hobby?
I like to draw.
You a draw? Oh my goodness, my dog likes to draw. And what must you have at a cookout? What can you not do without in a cookout?
I gotta have ribs. I gotta have a burger.
There it is. Boom.
Ooh,
520 right there. He just nailed it. So, and for the rest of you all that are going to be coming, don't think that I'm going to have the same questions for your 520. I may have us throwing, we may be in here shooting hoops. Don't play with me. I'm that kind of person. So, hey, so Local Louisville Boxing. This is the podcast. This is episode 1. This is what we wanted to bring to you. And as each show comes, it'll get better and better. Believe me, we want you to support your local boxing. And I just named a few. If there's some out there that I don't know of, you email me, hit me up on my Facebook page, and we're going to get you in here so we can get you popping. It's time for all of us to raise up. It's time for all of us to come together and get this together and let them know that Louisville is the king of boxing, and this is where it starts at. You want to box, you need to come through here. You got me? Derek, DM, is there anything you'd like to say before we sign off here, my man?
I would like to say just keep pushing forward, and when things get hard, just remember there's always room for improvement. So, just have resilience and just have patience and just keep it moving.
Right, and to piggyback off of what he just said, I'm kind of like, if you don't, you have to believe in yourself. So if nobody else believes in you, you believe in yourself, and that's how you keep it moving. Now, the first show that I said I would ever do, I would shout out some closings. Is there anybody that you'd like to say what's up to before we get out of here?
I would like to just say what's up to everyone who's making positive moves and just keeping positive energy.
Really?
That's really all I have, man.
Ah, that's good. That's good. That's
I
good.
don't want to put no one on the spot.
Right. And I may leave some people out, but I've always said that if I ever did something, I'd always end it with something like this. So, Puff, Hollywood, Luda, Coco, holla at your boy. I love y'all. Local Louisville Boxing. We about to come up, baby. See you later.
Indeed.